All right, 1 minute to 7, we're gonna call the meeting to order. And if y'all would, please, we're doing things a little bit different. I'd like to say the pledge allegiance to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What is it, January the 10th? Okay. Everybody's here. Everybody's present. Roll call, we don't need. I'd like to introduce some people here, if y'all don't mind. You know, we all started with brand new staff because everybody else left. So our attorney will start with her, Alicia Hubbard. And you will find a resume on each one of your desks there if you want to read about her. Very qualified. She's with a big company, or big attorney outfit down in Carrollton, I believe it is. Her name is Alicia. And you want to say anything, Alicia? Just
No, I'm happy to be here. Help in any way I can.
Kevin, will you use your internet prior to this?
Yes, sir. We've done a lot of title work for you all when you put the rehabilitative, that city project recently, 2 years ago. We did all your real estate title work, and I personally worked on that. And I think we've done some other work for you in the past too.
The name public structure.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I was on council.
Okay, okay. But I'm with Crawford and Baxter over in Carrollton, so, yes, sir.
And our secretary treasurer, Veronica Chapman. She has been a lifesaver for us right here lately, I tell you, helping us get these bills and stuff together. And did you have something to tell them about the taxes or something before we
We can talk about it when we get to the bill.
do the bills? Okay. And we also want to congratulate everybody on your election, and welcome back the ones who got re-voted in. Charlotte, Mike. The way you're seated, the reason we did this is just simply because that's the way the votes come in. Charlie got the most votes, Juju, right on down the line and right up this line. That's the way we seated it. Thought it'd be fair to everybody.
But I'm a rose between two thorns, though.
Yeah, you're in trouble. Yeah. Also, I want to mention something that some friends of ours did for us. Us just getting our feet wet here. These two ladies right here from Walton, I got a list of what they donated to their city here. Got a refrigerator, a real nice refrigerator, and it's full of water. Anybody want anything? They brought in a case of water, 12 rolls of toilet paper, 6 rolls of paper towels, kitchen garbage bags, 2 garbage cans, bathroom size, sidewalk garbage can, pencils, light bulbs, envelopes, coffee cups, our creamer, sweet and low, all kinds of rubber bands. And we appreciate that. Y'all didn't have to do that, but I'm going to give you a hand for that. I got it. They own a motel up there. A couple, 3 motels up one.
Hey, start up with the cabinets.
And I guess, like I say, we're doing little things a little bit different. Every council member got a copy of their minutes in their package. We won't be reading minutes every meeting. So either you got a copy of them, you all read them, is there any questions on them? I hope you had time to read them. At every meeting, 3 days before the meeting, you'll get a copy of the minutes of the previous meeting. And you can read them. If you've got questions on them, bring them to the floor and we'll discuss it. If no questions on it, anybody want to make a motion to accept them?
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes so ordered. Minutes accepted. Okay. Got that done. Treasury report. Starting off with the treasury report, I might mention too, if y'all found that on your desk, you have a Frontier Fund still in the bank. There's $525 in there. I got a printout on all your copies there. See it there. You also got a copy of your CDs and all the money you got in the bank. That's all the money. Belongs to the city, so I think y'all should know about it. And Mark collected, you remember that money you collected, Mark?
Yeah.
You want to, did you want to put that in, we thought about doing this, if you want to, it don't matter. If you want to put it in a, you know, like a recreation fund, we can put the Frontier money and that together and just put Frontier/recreation fund. I can start a account that way, or we just put it in there with it, or put it in general funds, that's what you want to do with it.
Don't matter to me.
Well, I don't know how much is in there, but nobody's,
Well, they wasn't
much in there, but
$20,
I guess we need to count it and get it out of there, put it in the bank or something, huh? So you wanna just wait on that, or you just wanna put it in general funds?
Just put it in there what fund you want.
Well, we'll just leave it set there until we decide what to do there, huh? I think we ought to just take it up. It's all coins, isn't it?
Are you planning on trying to bring back Frontier Days?
What's that now?
Are you planning on trying to bring back the Frontier Days?
Yeah, we're planning on it.
I just put it in that account with us.
Put it in the Frontier Days thing.
Sounds good to me.
I don't know how soon we can get to it. And we might not get much of one this year, but we might get something going, you know.
If we get anything going in here for entertainment, it'll work.
Okay. Okay, we got a treasury report.
Just the copies of the,
Everybody got their copies of the monies we got in the bank and that? Now, we're gonna pay the bills. I'm gonna let Veronica have the floor here for a little bit. She's gonna tell you something. I got something to tell you too about this phone bill. And some other things I wanna mention. But I'll let her have the floor right now. She wants to talk to you about
okay.
a tax.
Well, if you notice, on the printout that I made for the bills, there's some, says IRS down there. Does everybody see that, where it says that? Penalties and interest. There's two bills in here, and, I mean, I don't think it was done intentionally, I just think it was something that just slipped through the cracks. It's just some, penalties and interest on some. Well, I have an extra one. It's just something, I think, that just slipped through the cracks, something that was supposed to be paid and didn't get paid.
Was there a penalty for that?
Yeah, it's penalties that, it was on, like the Medicare and the Social Security that was supposed to be paid. And if anybody has any questions about it, here's one, like, it was due on 4/30 and it was paid on 6/30, so they charged us $4.31, and then there's two others, and then here's, the $280 one is the largest one. It's supposed to be paid, like, supposed to be paid on, actually, you know what? That one may not be a bill. I think that one's an overpayment instead of a bill, so you can scratch that one off.
The 280.
Yeah.
So that would be a reimbursement?
Maybe.
Did you mail that?
I didn't, I haven't mailed anything yet. Oh, no, it is a penalty, sorry. This is the one I was looking for. Like, they were due, 2 of them was due on 8/16, 2 was due on 9/15, and 2 was due on 10/15, and none of them got paid until 10/28, so there's some late charges, so if anybody has any questions, I can pass them around, and you can see when they was due and when they were paid. You can see the penalties that are there.
So that is a penalty, you're saying, for sure?
Yes,
But we're paying them tonight, right?
yes.
And also, I've been talking to the phone bill company, our phone bill's like, what was this month, $149 or something? And we got a phone number, 643, anything outside of that's long distance, is that right?
Well, I understand that.
Outside 643,
Huh?
outside 643, so
Yeah.
like if you dial 567?
You call company, yeah, it's long distance.
Holy cow.
5, 6, 7?
If I can get you all's permission, we're talking to phone company now, I can get that changed and get a better rate and get a deal set up, probably.
Let me say, I'm on Cincinnati Bell, and
Huh?
it's not, I'm on Cincinnati Bell, it's not long distance for me. Call out.
This number here is.
Well, you gotta sign up for that, you know, if you want it, you know, I can call, I'll take 5 minutes.
Okay, go ahead, boy.
This is a security measure so that a lot of long-distance charges do not get incorrectly billed to the city phone. That's what happens, and that's probably why that restriction is on the city phone. It's just a safety measure on outgoing calls.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
but who
in
here should be making
somebody
phone
walked
calls?
in off of the street and wanted to borrow your phone, well, I need to call this or that,
Yeah.
and it ends up charging you a bigger bill.
So you think it'd be best to leave it that way? All right.
But who in here should be making phone calls other than yourself and the clerk? There shouldn't be anybody in here, and
Well, there isn't, but I'm
Well-
just saying,
but the
we
cost
can call
wise,
up here and get our messages, is what I'm saying too, see, with this number this way.
but the call wise is still cheaper though, because if you have to call Frankfurt, or you have to call
Yeah.
Florence, or you have to call Warsaw even, that's an extra charge. And consequently, why should the city be paying for an extra charge on something when it's not necessary? I mean, the authorization, it's not like I can walk in here and decide, you know what, I'm gonna make 10 phone calls or long distance phone calls, because it's not gonna happen. And,
Well, I know it's 149.52.
well, that's what I'm saying, and most of those calls, I venture to say, are probably Warsaw, Sparta, Florence, Cincinnati.
As long as you don't call 502, it's not long distance if you change that policy you got there.
If you go with the extended service,
Yeah.
any 859
Right.
area code, you don't pay a dime.
Right.
for it.
You can call Ohio on 859,
Right,
it does.
right.
It don't
So you
cost
think
nothing.
we're to go that way?
I think you should, first.
I think we should have the extended service.
Alright. No, you don't call what
Well,
you
some
want
of
in
that's
a
free,
Pearl
Larry.
Town,
Yeah, it's-
502, you're
It's
alright.
an unlimited long distance, so the extended
Yeah, we'll see.
service really doesn't come into play because it's unlimited long distance. so
Well,
it
you
really
can
wouldn't
do
matter.
it either way, Rick. I know, I have.
Yeah, it can be done either
unlimited
way.
on my phone at home, and on one up at the motel, I have the extended service where we can call anywhere in the 859 area code, but if I have to call, say, 502, I have to dial the 502 in.
And one's one of them.
Uh-huh,
Right.
So in other words, you got complete connection.
yeah. But, it's optional whichever way we wanna go with it. We can go with extended
Right.
service, we can go with unlimited.
When you
call.
get the next telephone bill, I'd like to sit down and go through that with you, so we can determine what we're being billed for.
That's what
All you
we'll
have to do is look on the bill, it tells you precisely what you're being charged for.
Don't you look in the head, he makes a lot of calls to Franklin, and that's a
Yeah,
502.
and that's a
I
502,
do.
so
So
you
we
would
would-
be better off with the extended service.
Which is what, right now, which is what we have, because all the different times you might have to call Frankfurt or Lexington.
Like, most of our business be out of 502 air code.
So there's a lot of services that are not on there right now that have not been added, that can be added at no extra charge. So we have to update the telephone, get away from the antique type, like tape or cassette. And that way, if Jim or whatever is on the road or whatever, he can call and get the messages with the code, and see whatever messages you would have on your phone.
But you can do that, that extended service.
Extended service with a voicemail. Yeah.
Right. But along with your extended, or with your unlimited long distance, you can do that too, but again, you have to upgrade the phone.
Okay. Well, we won't change it till we go and look it over.
May I ask a question, please?
Yeah.
On your phone bill, does it show for 2 months or 1 month?
This is a 2-month bill.
2 months?
It's
This
past
is a
the amount.
2-month bill, yes.
So your rate should only be about $75 a month.
74.84 is the regular.
Because what we approved here was a flat rate of $75. And we've had this problem in the past where it passed in the mail. To make everybody understand, Cincinnati Bell has not charged anymore, it's just where it crosses.
Yeah, it's a 2-month bill.
Okay. But the only thing I was questioning about it was the 859 number. We don't have that. I mean, I guess you figure it on calling Frankfurt or whatever from here.
It'd still be
cheaper.
long distance.
Still be long distance unless you have the long distance
It's
extended care.
502,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it have a list of the numbers that's called as long distance?
I don't believe it does because it's basic service.
So it does or doesn't
I don't
charge
believe it
5, 6, 7?
No, it don't charge 5, 6, 7.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking.
Anything in this area is all the same
Okay.
And Cincinnati.
in Cincinnati.
If we were gonna change it, the best way to go with it would be the extended service. So that way he has to call Frankfurt or any place like that, he doesn't pay a bit more. He pays one rate a month more.
Won't that be any higher than what we're paying?
I can't, I look at some, I look at the motel phone, the restaurant phone, my phone. I'm well satisfied with mine. I mean, I can pick up that phone, call Carrollton, talk for 2 hours, and I know I'm not charged a bit more for it. 502, 513, any
Well, our
of
house
those
is.
areas.
We're set up that way at home too.
Okay.
It's just the extended service. You could call and get the price on both, either or.
All right, that's what I'll do
Well,
for sure.
for extended long distance, it's $10 extra a month.
What about
So
the
then you're
extended?
actually talking about $85 is what you bill with run here. 75 for your regular, your basic service, being a business phone and all, and then $10 extra for extended.
All right, we'll check into it then. Okay. While we're on the bills and so forth, we got discussing something. I've been going out and buying this and buying that, just out of pocket money. We don't have petty cash around here. What's y'all's view on that, City Council? I want to get your approval before I know I'm allowed to get and spend so much money, but I ain't gonna spend a dime unless y'all tell me. So, I think we need $80 or $100 cash around here. Just like we had to go up and buy a bunch of stamps, buy a bunch of envelopes, even toilet paper, or whatever. We ain't got no money to buy it with. And I don't want to have to call Veronica and get a check wrote out. What's your view on that, petty cash?
Does not Glencoe have accounts with like Maine's, IGA, and whatever other stores already, other than the post office? I know the post office won't.
Yeah, post office.
And I'm not trying to offend you or anything, but I always have a huge problem with the city government or for anybody having a petty cash. It's too easy to
Well, I want
lose
to
receipts.
get City Council's view on
You
it.
know,
What I want to get on it. If y'all say no, we won't do it. If you want, it's up to y'all.
Well, you need to have access to take care of the city needs. I mean, however we want to do this, but
I'd have to be responsible for it and just lock it up or whatever, or keep it, whatever, in the box or home. Or,
And put all the receipts in it for each
well, anytime
purchase.
you buy stamps or whatever with it, envelopes, put your receipt in there and take the money out. And then at the end of the month, we figure it up. you know, your receipts and see what you spent and put the money back in.
Well, I don't have no problem with it because like you need some stamps, you can't give a check or get them or buy a book of stamps.
Yeah, I got it.
And you can't go to Warsaw and get 98. You gotta get to the post office.
Yeah.
Which we don't have account for it. And I don't see any problem having $50 petty cash and
Or we don't have to be a much, $50.
you know, just something that you can, if you got a body about, you can go get it, and you might wait the next month to get approved from council.
What do y'all think about it?
I don't have a problem with it.
I'll put a motion in to do it.
Got a motion in, second, petty cash, I guess, let's go for $50. That ought to be enough.
It depends, if you buy a roll of stamps, they cost you $40-some.
You broke before you get started.
We'll be broke before we get started.
But that's how I buy them. They're $40-some.
Wow.
Why don't you budget in stamps and just buy them and just replenish those every month? Silly as it seems, if there's $50 laying in here, some idiot's gonna break in the building to try and find it. You might just get your receipts and get reimbursed and be safer. You know? Well,
Of course, what we'd have to do, I don't think it'd have to be locked up, and like you say, somebody might want to break in for $50, you're probably right. Or I could keep it in my house and be responsible. I'm gonna be responsible for it anyway, if we got the money.
Well, being we're on this subject of that, I mean, how do we all feel then about the needs of, say, the new fund? We're gonna have, there's a lot of things that are gonna be in place. We've talked for a couple of years
Yeah,
about computers.
I'm getting to that right here.
Well, I think we had a motion on the floor. And
Yeah, you got a motion to, it's been second for $50 petty cash. So we can, everybody signify by saying aye on that?
Aye.
Aye. Now, while we're on that, also, we're gonna need to spend a little money here. We need a computer. And Veronica needs a file box. She needs one, about a 4-drawer one. A 4-drawer one. She definitely needs that for all the stuff she's got. Cause Linda used to take her stuff home with her. But Veronica's going to do it right here and have a file cabinet here. And we need a computer.
Would you accept a donation on the file cabinet?
Absolutely. We accept donations on anything, boy.
That's what I'm sitting in my garage that I'd be glad to get rid of.
it wasn't used.
How big is it 4-drawer?
It's 4-drawer.
What does that sound like?
Thank you.
Okay, now the next thing is we're gonna have to buy a computer, and I want you to help us pick. We get a pretty cheap one up there at Walmart, they tell me, for around $3.50.
We also need a printer though, because I'm gonna have to print like W4s
Yeah.
and stuff off for them, so we're also gonna need a printer.
Printer and a computer. Can we get somebody, y'all wanna allow us to spend that money for that? I want to go through council first.
Well, as everybody knows that's on the council now that was here before, I put this before the council quite a while back. We need a computer in this office,
And for the city.
and it needs to stay in this office.
Yes.
Right.
Well, that's why I want all this stuff to stay. I want a file cabinet, because anything can happen to me at any time. And all the city's information will be here, you know, if something was to happen to me. And all this information, like I need Excel and Microsoft Office put on a computer before I can even open the zip drive that she gave me. To get to any, I don't know anything as of right now, because I can't open that zip drive.
So you can get that up there?
We should be able to, yeah.
You've looked at a computer, you know it'll work for the city.
Well, we just have to get, I mean, we can get a good one. We don't have to get a high dollar one, but you can get a good computer and then buy Microsoft Office to put on the computer. And I just need Microsoft Office with Excel and stuff to open that zip drive she gave us. And we may have to invest in QuickBooks.
You have any idea what something like these programs or whatever, QuickBooks, something like that costs?
I haven't looked at them. I don't.
I saw an ad for QuickBooks for about $79 just recently.
Has anybody, have you just looked at one spot for the computer, or have you compared prices?
We haven't yet.
That's my big thing. I don't wanna just say Walmart's got the best price and go to it. I think y'all compare,
Yeah.
you know, after,
Sure.
not just say, okay, yeah, we approved to go buy at Walmart. I think we need to bring back some prices at different places, so we can get the best thing. I know you need it done as soon as possible, but I think we need to do a little research.
That's fine, but the next meeting, like I have to have everyone's W4 forms out, or W2 forms out by the end of the month. So, QuickBooks and Excel. So,
Actually, we need to make a decision on the computer tonight.
Yeah, we need
So
to
they-
make
I
that
mean-
decision now so we can go ahead and,
yeah, because I have to, I mean, like, you won't be affected because you wasn't here, but like everyone else that was already on council, I have to get those out, and they have to be postmarked by January 31st.
So we could give you an amount to spend and just not say where to spend it.
I mean, I don't care to compare prices. Like, we actually got some coupons in the mail for Office Depot with like 20% off. If we can get it cheaper there, I'll go there and get it.
I was gonna say, some of the office supply stores will work with you, I'm sure.
Right.
what we need to do then is authorize you the money to buy, go ahead and buy a computer, your software.
And a printer.
And a
I need a
printer.
printer. Because I
And a
have to
printer.
print
And the
those.
software.
Mhm.
I'll put a motion in. How much are you talking, Veronica?
I don't know.
Give me some kind of figure at us, as to what amount of money you think we're gonna spend for this. You need the printer and the computer.
And the
Wow.
software.
And
I
the
just
software.
gave $530 for mine at Walmart, and it's got the monitor, keyboard, printer, or mouse, and hard drive and all that, and mine's even got Microsoft on it,
Does it?
but I ain't got Excel. You would have to buy that separate, but it didn't come with no printer. So I mean, that there just gives you a basis on what the monitor and hard drive and that kind of stuff costs.
What was
Now,
the figure
you're
you
still
had?
looking at a printer and you're still looking at Excel.
What was the figure you had, Mark?
530 is what I just gave for myself.
What, $1,000
And it's
you
a
can
evening.
cover it?
I think $1,000.
Yeah, I mean,
budget
say we
$1,000.
throw $1,000 out and if we get a better deal elsewhere, but.
With the printer and everything.
And try to get all your hardware and everything.
We have a fax machine here.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was gonna say, 'cause if you do, you might as well get one that printers that's fax copy.
And scan, right.
Multi-unit.
I'd say she can get away with getting everything she needs for $800.
Office Depot right now has a fax scanner, printer,
Somebody
and
put a
everything else
motion
on
in on
sale
that.
for $59.
Uh,
And it's a
do you think
$300
we
unit
do?
that is bought.
I think we ought to give it $1,000, because you don't have to use it, you don't, you know.
Put it back.
Well, I mean,
If you don't wanna go up there and 800 and like a few bucks finishing off and not get it.
Give her the, she can spend up to $1,000, that ought
Right,
to do
and
it.
do it cheap as you can, you know.
Right.
I think Hargis is wanting to say something, let me.
Yes, Mayor, for computers and stuff, I buy them all the time. I get a decent computer for your printer, for QuickBooks Pro, which you will need to do your W-2s, and for Microsoft Office Professional, which you'll need to run, you're looking at spending about $1,500 to $1,800,
They really are.
and that's low end.
You also got to remember, if you're going to buy a computer, you're not buying it for somebody's home. You're buying it for a business. I mean, that's what the city is. It's a business. And then you also have to consider somewhere down the road of as far as grants and everything else. And I don't know how the state ties it. I have no clue. So I'm kind of talking out of water here. But your software for that. But it depends on what you all want to do with it. I mean, with a computer. I mean, that's what it boils down to.
Well,
I mean, I just paid for QuickBooks for my company. We're talking employees of 7 people, and I'm not running grants, I'm not running everything else here. But the QuickBooks cost me $395.
We gotta have one, we gotta have the, if we're gonna do this city business, we gotta have the stuff to do it with.
Oh, I
You need to
agree.
get one that we ain't gonna have to update next year.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean?
Well, there you
We
go.
Get one that, when I leave this office, it's still in there,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
We don't want to, well, it's outdated, have to throw it in the garbage and get another one.
We just let her buy what she's gotta have, cheap as she can get it.
You say about 15, 1800?
About 1,500, 1,800. I think if you go there, you're gonna find your software, and you may come up cheaper, like I say, if you go to Office Depot, right now, they've got what are discontinued printers, but they're still good, because I just bought one today. It's normally $299, they were $59. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, it's a fax, it's a printer, it's a scanner, it's a whole ball of wax. I think it's 100 page or 150 page is what it holds.
Well, they're all on sale right now.
Everything's on sale like that right now, and that's what I would look into.
You need a $1,500 limit.
It's gonna have to be between
Well, you want-
1,500 to 2,000 at
Get what
least.
you need.
I'm gonna say,
I would just shoot out 2,000 and let her try to stay 100. I make a motion for $2,000.
There we go.
That's second.
Now, here a second.
That's second.
Motion made, second for $2,000. All in favor, I'll say aye.
Aye.
So do it.
Okay.
That's you, you can handle that? Or you
I
need
can.
help? You can handle
Make
that?
sure,
make
make
it
sure
easy
W-2s are on time.
I'll see what I can do.
They're gonna be so big.
Right.
Then we get around to the bills, about make a motion to pay the bills. Everybody seen the bills? Should be a copy of it on your desk. Like I say, we're doing them a little different too. They'll be on one sheet of paper.
Okay, I'm new, so I have some questions about this. We have 4 different Kentucky utility bills. One's for the city building, one for the recreation area. What are the other 2 for?
The other two, it doesn't say, so I didn't know either, because I'm new as well, but
Say
here's,
these lights out here,
One of
probably.
them's got a street light.
Yeah.
Street
So
lights.
the $400?
Yeah, that's the higher.
Okay, what about the 1956 one?
Might be your lights out here. Do you have a meter on this out here? I was gonna say the lights out here.
So that security light wouldn't be considered with all the other street
No,
lights?
no.
And it wouldn't be considered city building lights? It's
No,
not-
no, they would be separate meter.
That's what's used for, like for Frontier Days, it's got this large panel that's right there.
So it's where the panel and the security light, y'all think, or?
What would be your playground lights and this, you know, whatever's right
Well,
out
the
here. I don't
playground
know what
lights-
all's tied
I was
into
gonna say,
it.
it says recreation area. so I'm
That would
thinking
be it.
that's yeah.
That would be it out there. And there's probably a minimum charge on it.
Okay, yeah, because like I said, the point, what was it again?
I'd be more than happy to pass these around and let you see them. if you'd
Yeah,
like.
the 1956 just for me, I'm thinking, you got the recreation area, which is that, you got
Right.
the city building, and then the city lights,
Lights.
which was $471, but then the $19.56, I'm thinking, where's it at? Is it the panel out here?
Well,
Probably just your meter charge. If you don't use any electric, they still charge you
they
so
still
much.
charge
per
you so
meter.
much on it. But this out here should be your recreational lights, this panel.
Okay, what you're looking for is, you got one electric bill for this light out here,
Okay.
That's the other
one
one.
for this building,
Yeah.
and one for that box that controls the big lights and the street light.
So the $19 is this panel thing?
Yep.
Thank you.
So that covers them all then, huh?
And then the battery for Ed, what was that battery for?
Battery for Ed had a call, he had to leave. Anybody know what that battery's for?
I'm
For
assuming
his
that that's
car.
about for his radio, isn't it?
I'll say it's not a car because it's jaded electronics.
That's for his radio.
Radio.
Two-way radio battery.
Oh. There's one other bill here we haven't gotten. I don't know, Ed's insurance. I talked to Linda Hunter this afternoon. She said she paid last month. But we didn't get nothing for this month yet. I don't guess we'll get that till later, or
You sure already got it?
we haven't got it.
Then we're looking at green bag back in the office.
Yeah, we looked in there, and I just went to the mail today. But there's none. I would have thought it'd come in now, but she said maybe on account of the holidays,
That's possible.
being running late. Just keep checking it this week. When we get that, we have to send that in.
Okay.
If you don't get it pretty soon, you might all call about it, Jim.
Yeah. Well, now, we know how much it is. If it hadn't changed since last month, and I don't think it is, we can go back to checkbook, but I don't know where, we gotta have, where we send it to.
Where's it go? I mean.
Yeah, it's supposed to Anthem,
Anthem.
but I don't know. I guess I can get the address stuff off this card or something.
You should have a copy of their bill and all the records that Linda gave you. It should be in there.
Yeah.
If not, Anthony will send you something.
Yeah. Well, if we don't get it in a couple, 3 days, I'll call them.
What's your chances of raise at the beginning of the year?
Yeah.
Jim,
Okay, to have a motion to pay bills.
Wait just a second, Jim. We
Okay.
never had a motion for the treasurer report to accept it or to, we never did do that. We moved right on to pay bills. We didn't do the treasurer
On the
report.
treasury report?
Yeah, nobody made a motion to accept the treasurer.
Everybody see the treasury report there?
But we never made the motion.
Well, I'll make a motion. You wanna make a motion, Bob?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All right, treasury report accepted. Everybody say aye.
I've got a question about the bills too. Contacted IGA. We've got a charge account open at IGA, and I think it needs to be closed out.
We just paid a bill for them, didn't we?
It's on here.
We haven't paid it yet.
I mean,
It's 15,
it's in the-
55 or something. Yeah, it's in there. We haven't paid it yet.
We use IGA? What do we use it for?
Well, it says coffee, sugar, and paper towels, but it's set under Michael Murphy / City of Glencoe. I just think we already
Oh, I
closed it
guess
out.
that's just for coffee and stuff?
Toilet paper, paper towels, things like that. You know,
Really
you want
all-
to do something with petty cash, that eliminates petty cash.
Yeah.
That's the reason it was set up.
Do we go ahead and close it?
Yeah, we don't really need that. Yes.
So you made a motion to close it, or?
Well, I have a question about that. If you have $50 in petty cash, you buy your stamps and stuff, then we go to have a meeting, we don't have toilet paper, what are you gonna do in that case? Is $50 gonna be enough in petty cash? What do you need to leave?
Yeah, I think it would be, wouldn't you?
Like much, and spending much there.
It ain't like we're using this toilet up here every day.
Okay, I just wanna make sure, you know, without heavy toilet paper. But no, I don't.
Can we
want
buy
somebody-
Charmin?
Yeah, Charmin. I just wanna make sure we don't get caught in the lurch at near before the end of the month,
Yeah.
and you don't have any money left, like if you buy a whole roll of stamps or whatever.
If it was get that bad, we'll increase the petty cash, but right now we'll go for 50, and I can buy it out of my pocket, get a receipt, then take it back out the next month.
Quick comment,
Yeah.
Mayor and folks, we should worry, I won't be putting this in the paper about discussing toilet paper.
Job's not done till the paperwork's done.
That's exactly.
I can be discreet about it.
And while we're on that, Mike, we'd like to give Edie Bain recognition all the years she was here. She did a wonderful job. Sorry to see her go.
Well, I make a motion to close the account.
Okay, second,
Second.
all opposed, all in favor?
Aye.
That is done, we'll send that, will you send that in?
Okay. I'll write on there, please close account.
Now, can we pay the bills?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bills are paid. Okay. I got another little matter here I'd like to do. Throw it by you all and see what you think. I'd like to have a finance committee. I don't want to be signing checks. I don't think it's the mayor's job to sign checks. Maybe something big, but I'd like to get 2 people out of city council in Veronica. I'm on there already, I can sign checks. But I'd like to get 2 city council members in Veronica. Just like these checks here, y'all can sign them. I was informed better off if I don't sign as little as I can. It just looks better, don't you think? That's the way I see it. And,
Is that 2 signatures required on each
two required on each check. And if, you know, if I have to, I can sign it and Veronica can sign it. That's what we've been doing. I'd like to get, Actually, I was up to the bank and Rick happened to be with me that day. And we went in there and I got stuff on there and I asked Rick would he want to be on it. He said if nobody else wanted, he'd take it. But, so while he was there at the bank, I put him on there, just like I did Veronica. But, like he said, he don't care if somebody else wants it. He'd be happy to take his name off, put somebody else on it. I think Pokey would make a good one, or any of you all. Charlotte, you want to get on it? The finance committee? In other words, you just, all you do is sign checks.
What's that do legally binding to them?
I have the paperwork for bonding.
Okay.
You have to be bonded.
I think the auditor recommended this committee too, didn't he?
Huh?
The auditor that did our audit.
Yeah, the auditor told me that'd be a good idea.
No, I'm not saying it's not, I just wondered what, you
Yeah,
know, the
that
bonding
way-
and everything
yeah.
else on it.
You've got 2 signatures required, and that's a check and balance, that
Yeah.
sounds good legally to me.
Right, right, I agree.
I used to be a bank manager, and the 2 signatures required is all you need. I mean, that covers both of you. The only reason you'd want extra would be is if you needed something signed and one of you were not available.
Not available, yeah.
If he's out of town and
Right.
we need something, there's someone else that can sign it besides myself.
Right. Well,
You really need
Can I
somebody
ask
in the
one more question?
legislative body
right,
to have an active part in it.
that's what I'm getting at. Yeah. So, Rick is already on it, but he'll take his name off if somebody else wants on it. I want 2 people. I want 2 city councils. If you want to volunteer, or you want me to try to appoint somebody, or what? You want on, Pokey? You could do it?
I'm at home all the time, sure.
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I mean, I
You
don't
kinda
need an
used to
outside
get
job or
a hold
anything.
of.
I don't need an
And,
outside job or anything, so,
And Rick, you want to stay on it, or you want on, somebody else want on it, is that Rick?
No, it's.
I'd prefer somebody else take it. I mean, with everything that's went on the past few years and me asking the questions I've asked about the budget, I believe it would be just a lot of problem. I'd be scrutinized if I wanted. I would prefer somebody else being on it. I mean, but I will stay on it if nobody else will.
I'll volunteer.
Thank you.
Mike said he would, Jim.
Mike, you want to
Yeah,
get on?
I'll volunteer.
Okay. The only thing you have to do is go up to the bank. First chance you get, I'll call them, and you go by the bank, see the assistant president, and I'll call her ahead of time, and she'll put your names, and you just have to show proof. And you'll have to sign the copies up there.
That could be done on a Saturday from what we're trying to.
Be done Saturday morning, if people work or something, you know.
which bank is
Heritage, the one on 42 and just keep it down, keep the,
Yeah, the one right, hers is right there on 14. We got one Dry Ridge, we make deposits too, but, in fact, I made a deposit up there this past week. But the one Dry Ridge, or one up here, she's got everything,
yeah, up in Union,
yeah.
next to the courts.
Well, what I can do then, Rick, you'll have to take your name off. What I can do is call them or go up there and tell them you all are coming up one day. If you want to do it next Saturday,
It'll be a Saturday.
I can do it any day but Thursday.
Saturday,
Yes,
if nothing else, I can just meet you there.
And you should be able to just make a phone call and delete Monday.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, we got that accomplished.
Jim?
Yeah.
Not to interrupt you, two things. One, what's the bonding costing the city, the extra bonding? Is that costing the city anything? Just curious, because I'm trying, in my mind, the budget of the city.
I don't know,
Okay.
they're just gonna send us a bill.
Second, do you not need a motion set and a vote on it to form a committee?
Yeah,
Which is what you did?
the committee just appointed,
Yes.
yeah, they'll be bonded.
No, I'm asking you, do you not need a motion set up to form that committee?
Well, I've got volunteers, so we can do a motion.
Well, I'll make a
Mr. Answer
motion.
right here.
Yeah, Mike?
The bonding would be separate for each signer, and it's about $104. Because
Okay, I
you have
still
to
have a
put the
problem with
limit of
that.
$10,000. Any signer on that checking account, any
Okay.
I
account.
still think it's a good idea.
That's a year.
Yeah.
It gets renewed every year. While we're on that, let me ask you something, Mike. We got this, is this sewage and everything
It
completed?
should.
No.
Well, we got an encroachment bond pretty high right now on here.
$458.10.
Yeah.
It's for,
I got a release form, I can get them,
no, don't release it.
but we ain't completely done.
What we did as past council, we went ahead and paid for the encroachment permit for another year. And Mac Construction is supposed to be reimbursing the city back for that since they delayed the project. The state will not release the encroachment at all. We can send it in, but they're gonna reject it. Simple as that. That's the reason we went ahead and renewed it, and Mac Construction agreed to pay the city back. In fact, I gave council a letter last month saying, you know, basically sending the Mac the bill for reimbursement. Do you recall that?
Well, also, Jim, well, we'll get
You're not
that.
hooked up yet either, are you? I mean,
No, well, what I was gonna say, we'll get that back, Max.
no, money back for
Yeah,
that.
but like I've had a phone call from a lady up on Cemetery Road, Debbie Tires, where they have railroad ties in her yard. There's 3 of them. They put it across her driveway where they dug through, and her gravel was totally diminished. She's still got the railroad ties. She don't have any gravel, and she's very upset. And it's from the sewer company, and they said they would take care of these problems. And she's a woman by herself. I mean, she can't go out there and move them railroad ties, and they're still laying in her driveway. And this company needs to follow up and finish up. on
The construction company, that's the ones that's gotta do it? I mean, they're not done, right?
Right.
They gotta clean up and whatever, like, just like those guys?
They got to get that stuff out of there, and we're not hooked up. The letters, Mike, you remember when they said they were gonna send us the letters
Yes, ma'am.
about the hookups?
Yes, ma'am.
We've never gotten them yet.
You never had got your letter?
And that's where they give us, what, 90 days or
120
120 days to get hooked into it, and we've never gotten them yet either.
You should have retainage on all of it. You don't release the retainage until it's all complete.
Yeah, there's a few issues on cemetery. There's one lady up there, she got like a big sinkhole in the yard. Judy Jones's daughter, I can't remember her name.
Angela Jones.
But she has issues up there. I mean, that's something we probably need to get some people to go by and just check on and make note of. And see if these are all done before we ever sign off on that retainer.
Well, actually, Rick, the city of Glencoe will not sign off on the retainer. The city of Glencoe has no interest in the sewer project per se. The city of Glencoe did not sign the contracts.
But the thing was, back when, and that's what I had asked in the past year or so, is that I thought we had relinquished all this over to them, and then we still got all the paperwork, and I never did understand why we kept getting all the paperwork and everything, if we turned everything over.
We still had to get the paperwork because the money was coming through the city of Glencoe. The grant was in the city of Glencoe's name and did not be transferred to them. Okay? We could not just transfer the money, the state would not allow it because it was line item in the budget. Okay?
I mean, I see that now, but I mean, that's when.
That's the
we
reason
first
we
set out.
that's the reason we kept getting paid. We had to pay the, you know, either to Carrollton or to the construction company or to the engineer.
But when, you know, the way I was being told, the way I understood was we rolled everything over to Carrollton Utilities. Therefore, I didn't see where we should have to deal with any of the headaches from thereafter. That was the reason for doing that.
The way I did it, if somebody had a complaint, I conveyed it to Carrollton or to the engineer or the contractor. That's how I done it. It was simple instead of trying to get a hold of everybody and their brother. But as far as the contract, we have no interest in the contract.
Well, what if we don't, if they don't follow up on this, we got numbers we can get a hold of them?
Yeah. I'll give you one number and take care of all of it.
I would say this weather breaks and everything,
Well, that's the biggest problem. We
Yeah.
had rain what, the month before last. That's
Now,
when
we've
we
had a
sent
lot
out
of
settlement.
nasty weather.
And yeah, you're not gonna get it to settle 100% over a couple months, especially this kind of weather.
Okay, we just keep an eye on that.
Last month I was up there and I didn't, of course I didn't, I went on council, but they made a resolution to get $7,000 to company utilities. Excess money out of the sewer. Explain that to me, why did you get $7,000 to company utilities when we got these problems facing us?
We mean give them
Well,
$7,000.
y'all voted to get $7,000 plus.
That was on a previous pay request that was authorized by me. You know, I had so much time that I had to spend that money once it received the bank, into the bank and out the door. Council authorized me by resolution that I can go ahead and pay as long as the engineer and the utility company signed off on it. So I paid them, I gave them the pay request, showed them what was paid. That's what that $7,000.
But that $7,000 wasn't part of the sewer project?
That was part of the sewer project.
Excess money?
No, it's not excess money. That was for a request that would come in from the contractor and the engineer.
But it's all their baby now, right, Carol?
It's their baby, but we're still responsible for $53,000. That was taken care of by resolution directing the money to be paid for a SCADA system.
Well, how about those pump stations and that, man? Are we still watching them, those lights and that? Or do they,
The SCADA system.
they're supposed to handle that from Carrollton, what I understand.
The SCADA system that they want to install, we have it down here, the big pump station.
Yeah.
They're going to install it on 2 other pump stations. What that does, that sends a signal to Carrollton saying, I'm broke down,
Yeah.
or this is what I'm pumping. That's what that does. It basically lets them know if there's problems. We have 2 other pump stations that are not on the system that we kept an eye on, because if they go down, they only have 2-hour detention time on. Once those things start flooding over, sewer lines back up. So we would call Carrollton and let them know if their pumps are down. Because if those pumps go down, they go past 8 hours or more, and they overflow, then it's a violation of state law.
But eventually they're gonna have it all, right?
I don't know.
They haven't
They're
as
supposed
yet.
to, huh?
They haven't as yet. I think Ed keeps an eye on them.
Yeah, he keeps an eye on them lights. Okay. All right.
Really, the people with this sewer thing, the people are gonna be looking to either you or the council members, do something, tell them we want this fixed. And the only way we can do it, is eventually to get back in contact with them and find out, I know the
Well, that's
weather's
what I'm
gonna
saying,
have
we
to
got
break.
numbers.
Let me give you a phone number. It's 800 732 7055.
7055.
Yes, sir. You need to speak with Bill Osborne. He's the manager of the utility.
What's his name?
Bill Osborne.
Now, is this for Carrollton?
Yes, sir.
You also got, you still got the numbers of the contractors too, don't you?
Yeah, I think I do.
If they don't get back here by spring, we need to get a hold of them.
Well, that's the whole key. That's the reason with the bond on the road. The state's not going to release until it's all straightened up there, and that can't be done till spring.
Yeah.
Just so we can tell them something, yes, it is gonna be taken care of.
Well, again, it comes down to, if you're told a problem, you get a hold of Carrollton right away. They'll contact the contractor. Because the way we did this was, how was it? We didn't want a bunch of little fingers dabbling something. We have 4 different people, relaying the same information or totally different picture. one contact person contacted the utility or the inspector, and he would take care of it from there.
All right, let's see here. We got one other thing here I'd like to do. I want to do this the way it was voted, the way the votes came in. I want to appoint a pro tem, or a vice mayor if you want to call it that. Charlotte got the most votes. You're interested in it, Charlotte?
That's basically what, if you're not around.
You'd be here taking over.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
Did we make a motion to pay those bills?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Wasn't anything about the finance committee, though, because they had to be voted on.
I voted on it. Did y'all vote on it?
No, I didn't think we did.
I made a motion to pay bills. Somebody seconded, and I said, all signify by saying aye.
That's to pay bills, but that's not the finance committee, that's something separate the finance committee is.
All right, we made a motion to pay bills.
Yeah, we did. I second it.
You seconded it? All right. All in favor of paying bills, signify by saying aye.
Second.
You did.
On the bills, yeah.
No, not the bills in the finance committee.
I made the motion.
You made the motion.
Right.
I didn't hear a second.
No, that's second.
I'll second. I
You got
thought
it,
you
man?
did second.
You got it?
No, that was bills.
Everybody want to pay bills, signify by saying aye. All opposed? Now, the pro tem, we got that appointed, Charlotte, pro tem.
Okay.
And we want to thank Juju, he baked the cake. And after the meeting, we're going to have refreshments and coffee. Coffee and cake.
You just make sure you in that truck back in Glencoe on the 7th.
You had it, girl. I have a motion adjourned.
No, I got one thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Up here, I guess the city storage building, the pallet cover's been up there for several years. If my memory serves me right, maybe 10, 15 years ago, the state put in covers here. And they had a lot of covers left over, and it's stored up in the city building.
And it's a mess.
Huh? Well, the fire department got new trucks, and they're too big. They got to pull down this ditch out here to back in.
Yeah.
And the fire department wanted to know, would the city donate one of them old culverts, and they will put it in their own expense. But they want to pull down this ditch. The other night they got stuck it on ice, and all they do is make our driveway wider. They're gonna, you know, and I feel like we need to give the fire department one of
Yeah,
those.
what's nothing wrong with that?
It's not in our inventory, so it's really, you know, they've been there. How long have been there, Mike? 15 years?
No, I've only been here 15 and a half.
I mean, the state had them left over and
About
laid up here in the
7
park
years.
for a long time. Finally put in the city building.
About 7 years.
You know, so it's not city property, and Story done ate them up for me. So I make a motion we get the fire department a court.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Well, so be it. You let them tell them they got it. Anybody else got anything? Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, this past year, the council had what they call a nuisance.
Majority, whatever, and I'd have to.
We can make a motion or appoint you one. I guess you want to make a motion?
How many's on the committee?
I'll make a motion. I'll second it.
How many's on the committee? Mark?
Mike, there's one representative from the city.
From the city?
Doesn't he need to be
One
sworn
from each
in?
city, one from Warsaw,
He
one
has to
from
be
Florida.
sworn in.
Okay.
Uh,
I was just thinking how many came out.
Alicia.
Alicia can do it. I
Yeah,
don't have no trouble
Me
remembering
too.
our electors.
Oh, you do?
That's a nickname, right?
We call Alicia Cricket.
Okay. So,
Well, did we make a motion?
Yeah, we made the motion, so.
Motion, second.
All in favor, by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Well, Mark, you want to come up here and get sworn in?
Which we're,
Alicia. All right, that's all you have to do is raise your right hand.
Okay. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky so long as you continue to be a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully execute to the best of your ability the office of the Ethics Committee member according to law, and do you further solemnly swear that since the adoption of the present Constitution, that you, being a citizen of the state, have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state nor out of it, nor have you sent or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons, nor have you acted as second in carrying a challenge, nor aided or assisted any person thus offending, so help you God.
I always love it.
You got to be a part of the city.
He's official.
I kind of missed it, dude.
Like I said, we got refreshments and cake.
Jim, I got something I got to say.
Okay.
First of all, I want to say, I am so glad to see so many people here. I mean, I've watched all, I didn't get to come last year, but I watched all the videos, thanks to artists, and there was hardly ever anybody here. So it's great to see everybody here taking a stand, letting us know what you want. It's a way to great start. Next, I would like to have on the agenda for next month about Frontier Days, and also hopefully try to maybe get something together for Easter.
Yeah, I was gonna talk to you
Yeah.
about that.
I'd like to have that on the agenda, please, if we can
Okay.
discuss that.
Definitely. I'm gonna talk to you about that anyway.
That don't sound good, but okay.
Anybody else got anything? So, we got refreshments and coffee. There's no beer, guys, just coffee and cake.
Water.
Make a motion, anybody make a motion, German?
I made the cake, I made an upside down cake.
Second, everybody signify by saying aye. Thank you all for coming, everybody. Michael?